Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing the Nikon D3400. And I'm not going to be doing like an in-depth review on like the specs and whatever. I'm just going to be basically talking from my experience and just general stuff and of how I feel about the camera after using it for like 8 months. So, this camera is, first of all, it's a Nikon, okay? So, I could have went with several other brands. I could have went with Sony or Canon or, Panasonic, whatever, a ton. But I kind of just wanted to get Nikon because, I kind of knew what I was going to get out of it. I knew it was going to be, sturdy and reliable, and that's just kind of what I wanted. And it was cheap. It was $500 for this thing. So when you buy it, you get like a whole kit pack, and it comes with the 18 to 55 kit lens. And this is a super nice lens, right? It allowed me to really do kind of what I wanted for the first couple months until I really wanted to start expanding like my photography, and that's when I bought the 70 to 300 millimeter, and I could do a review on that later. But that just adds like a whole new dimension to what you're trying to do. But for the most part, if you're starting off and just getting started, the 18 to 55 kit lens is gonna get the job done for most things. The only thing is I kind of found it falling a little bit short on was like when I would go to my brother's football games and try to snap some shots there. Obviously, 15 to 55 is just not gonna be able to give you that range to get those super crispy, shots that you're looking to get at a football game. So like stuff like that is kind of where it was falling short for me personally. Overall, that 15 to 55 kit lens is great. I love it. I loved what it was able to do, and I loved, just kind of how I could be creative with it right off the bat. Not having to buy a lens. So for $500, you get the camera body, you get the 15 to 55 kit lens, you get a bunch of other stuff. But those are like the two main things. My experience with it, I've taken it on trips with me to Hawaii. I will put in some video right about it is it's super durable. Like, I have smacked it off things, I've dropped it, and it's still here. It's still sturdy. It's still it feels durable for $500, and it definitely is. I've smacked it off rocks trying to hike up. I've dropped it on the ground, so it has held its own, and it's super durable. Another thing I like about it is it's honestly super easy to use. Obviously, you do need to learn some things about the camera, and there's some great YouTube channels out there that teach you everything. I think the one that I really like is called Real World. I'll link it up in the description below if you guys are interested in checking him out. He makes amazing videos all about the Nikon D3400 and how you can really get the most out of it, and like shooting and like he just explains everything so perfectly. And that has really helped me improve just my photography with the Nikon D3400. So I would definitely go check out that channel if you guys are thinking about getting this camera. And that's honestly one of the main reasons I did get this camera as well. It's just because literally everything I wanted to know, he had a video on specifically for this camera. So it was super nice to have that. This is a pretty solid camera for if you're trying to shoot video, right? It's not like amazing. One area it does fall short on is it doesn't record in 120 frames per second, so you're not going to get that super crispy B-roll, slow-mo. So that's kind of a drawback. That is kind of a big drawback. And it does not have an external microphone, which is also kind of a drawback. Keep in mind, this camera really isn't made for video. But my experience with it, doing a lot of video on this camera, is it's solid. It can get the job done doing video. Now, audio, it does kind of struggle. If you have to get like really good audio, it's gonna struggle because it has only an internal mic, so it can only really pick up sounds that are in the vicinity, and it's not gonna get that really nice crisp audio as if you had an external mic. So that is kind of a bad thing about it. No external mic and no 120 frames per second. Besides that, I think it gets good videos. It does its job. It does what it's supposed to do. And for $500, I'm happy with the video quality that I can get out of it and that I can shoot with, and yeah. But when it comes to pictures, I think it can pretty much do everything you want. It can go as far as you want to take it, and it can match up with some of the better cameras out there if you use it correctly. If you really utilize all of its tools and all of what it has to offer, it can just shoot some amazing pictures And that's kind of where I was surprised with the Nikon D3400, is that it really can match up with other cameras. If you can just learn the camera a little bit, become comfortable with it, and just start snapping some shots, you can get some really amazing shots with it. Much better than I anticipated to begin with. You know, you can do really obviously any kind of photography that you want. It's an entry-level DSLR. My overall opinion on this camera is it's really solid for the amount of money that you pay for it. So for $500, I think it's a really good deal. And if you're trying to get into photography, if you're trying to even get into videography, this isn't the top camera I would recommend. But if you're trying to maybe do both, learn like I was, trying to learn photography and videography, I think this can do it. Now, if you're more into the video, I would really recommend maybe trying to get a camera with an external mic, and maybe that can shoot in 120 frames per second, because like I said, that is two things that this thing falls short on, and those are pretty big factors when it comes to taking video. Overall, if you're just trying to get into photography and learn the craft and learn the skill, and you just want a solid camera that's going to be able to allow you to do that, I would recommend the Nikon D3400. I really think it's just a solid entry-level DSLR, and for the price that you pay, I think you really do get quite a bit out of it. Just a quick video on my opinions on the Nikon D3400 after using it for 8 months, and how I felt about it, and if I would recommend it or not. I know I didn't like go into the specs or anything, because honestly I don't know too much of the specs. I don't know, that's not like my thing. I just like you know, reviewing things based off my experience with them and not really getting too much into the details. So that's my review on the Nikon D3400. Definitely highly recommend it if you're trying to get into entry-level DSLRs and looking for a good camera for a very solid, fair price. But anyways, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace.